Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whenever you are watching this. I'm Lee, and today we're going to be talking about how to date when you have food anxiety, or if you are in recovery from eating disorder or body dysmorphia, while you get unready with me. Before we get started with anything, make sure you like this video, and then also make sure you hit subscribe and subscribe to my channel if you are not already subscribed. If you're not subscribed, what are you doing? But of course, if you want to reference anything in this video, I'm gonna have a table of contents in the description. But other than that, let's get to it. So first off, I want to tell you why I even wanted to make this video in the first place. So if you don't know my story, and if you don't know my story, I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, welcome, you're definitely new here. I used to be a competitive bodybuilder, and the front half, while I did that and while I was prepping for my competition, I was in a super toxic relationship. It was not a time, and bodybuilding kind of helped me realize that he was not the person for me, but also at the same time it really fueled it, yada yada, difficult. Anyway, I was single that latter half of while I was bodybuilding, and then also, I mean, just for the better part of my life until I met the love of my life, Dara. But while I was bodybuilding, I was not really dating at all. I was terrified of food. I was terrified of being around any guys. I was terrified of guys like making a move. I just didn't want any part of it. Even when I felt recovered and I was going through recovery and I was in a good place to date, it still was just the most anxiety inducing thing, because I felt like everyone always just wanted to go to bars or restaurants, and I just wasn't ready. I don't want anyone else to have to experience that anxiety and dread. I was always stressing out. Even though dating is, oh my god, I'm a raccoon, I just wasn't mentally prepped. Like, I didn't know all the things that I know now that would have been so much better for me to be aware while I was in the dating pool and involving other people in my life in that way. And it just wasn't fair to others that I was ill-equipped to really just even be dating in the first place. So if you are out there dating, you deserve to know all of these things in order to set you up for success. Here is how you can date while you have food anxiety and or are in recovery. First of all, you gotta know that their approval is not gonna help you. Their approval effectively means nothing. Anything that they say to you is not going to fix any problems that you have, any anxieties you feel, any disorders. It's not gonna do it. What's gonna fix you is you. Them thinking that you're pretty, them thinking you're hot, them wanting you to be your girlfriend or boyfriend. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All that matters is how you feel about yourself, okay? And the moment that you realize that it's not the validation that you need, but rather your own personal confidence, that's what's gonna be the game changer for you in dating. My new nose ring totally just fell out, so that is great. Okay, I don't even know how to get this in. SOS. My nose rings are always like the worst problem. I just got this new one too because everyone was making fun of me for my metallic booger, and it was kind of bothering me too, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. So I got these new ones, and now I'm just nervous that they're always gonna fall out. You cannot win. The next thing is that you got to be open to being flexible. The biggest thing about eating disorders and body dysmorphia is that you are so particular about what you need, and you're just very rigid. Like, I just had very particular food schedules, food things, food needs. I had like my fear foods and like my safe foods, and then I also had like, you know, oh, I can't go on a date tonight because if I go on this date then I haven't got my workout in for the day. Like, it's a toss-up, and obviously if I have to choose between the two, like, my workout's gonna win, right? Okay. When you're dating, you gotta be flexible. You gotta know that you're gonna go out for date nights at restaurants that are gonna have foods that aren't the 5 foods you always eat at home. And you're not gonna be able to cook them at home the way that you would. They're gonna have oil, they're gonna have butter and all that kind of stuff. Also, you're gonna have to say yes to a date once in a while in lieu of going to the gym or going for a walk or getting in that exercise in the way that you thought you would, you know? And that's just how dating works. You're gonna have to make sacrifices for the people that you're getting to know, the people that you're getting to meet, and you gotta be open to that. Also, game changer thing that you should know and be aware of. You don't have to plan your dates around food. Crazy, I know. You don't have to go to a restaurant and you don't have to go to a bar. There are so many other fun activities that you can do that don't involve any type of ingesting. You can set up all types of fun, creative dates that have nothing to do with food. Share with your partner or share with the person who's taking you on the date. If they ask like what you want to do or where you want to go, say, you know, oh my gosh, I would love to do anything as long as it's not a restaurant or a bar. And then you can see if the person is creative, if they have fun ideas, and also like what they like to do. and you could totally judge them if they suggest something basic like bowling, or you can also judge them in a good way for the creativity if they're like, oh, we should go parasailing, let's go skydiving. Okay, maybe that is like a lot, but you know, go roller skating, do a paint and sip. I've always wanted to do paint and sip on a date. I think that would be so much fun. If they take you to the carnival, like, come on, there are so many fun things you can do that don't involve the activity being centered around eating. Of course, a lot of activities you're gonna do might have food there. Like if you go to a carnival, of course, like fried Oreos are going to be there, but then you can decide your comfort levels, like what you're ready to do. And also the date is more centered around you having fun, or maybe them winning you a stuffed animal rather than just sitting there staring at food eating. When you begin to date, you really got to be wary of the third wheel, and the third wheel here is Ed, that negative voice. Whatever you characterize food anxiety as, for me, I always say his name is Ed, aka ED, but I read this really good book called Life Without Ed. Honestly, it changed my life. It is so amazing, and it really helps you characterize your eating disorder as this outer thing in being, so you don't really feel like it is your fault or a part of you. Like you can look at him objectively and be like, oh, I'm able to reason with you and not just sit here and say that I suck, I'm bad, I'm the one with all the problems. No, Ed has the problem, and let's talk and deal with him like we can reason with this outside being. Anyway, really good book. You got to be aware of this unwanted threesome when you're dating, because really easily this voice and this anxiety can wedge itself in your relationship and be this third party that you never wanted there in the first place. Kind of like what I was talking about before. If you're dating's got to come before your eating disorder, okay? Like I said, you're gonna have to sacrifice some of those meals you'd cook at home for meals that you'd eat out with your partner, or you'd have to sacrifice those times that you would isolate or head to the gym and spend that time with your partner. You've got to see them, you got to go out, you got to go try new things and have those experiences together, because otherwise you're not going to be able to build a successful relationship. With that being said, recovery is always going to come before your partner, especially if you are in your recovery journey and you are not fully recovered yet, or you're still like kind of deep in the throes of everything. You got to make sure that you're focusing on yourself first, rather than just plunging into the deep end of having another person involved and getting them into the thick of it too. Because when you're dating, you are involving a whole nother person into your life. You're inviting them in, and it can be a lot, not only for you but for them, and you just really want to make sure you are showing up the best possible version. Well, obviously you're not going to be the best possible version ever, but I'm saying like it's not going to serve you in your recovery if you are focusing so much on two things that require too much of your attention, if you get what I'm saying. Recovery requires a lot of attention, and if you're not giving that your all, maybe it's not the best time for you to be dating. Okay, also tonight I'm trying this new moisturizer that I got sent from First Aid Beauty, but it's called the Ultra Repair Cream with Intense Hydration. Okay. So next, you want to make sure that you are aware of your triggers. In a lot of ways, dating can kind of help alleviate some of your triggers. Like if you are around food, dating can kind of be like a distraction from, you know, eating those fear foods. Say that you get to a place and you are having those fried Oreos, and that's something that you're kind of like nervous about eating, but you have this person with you that you want to get to know, you want to talk to. So you are thinking less about, oh my god, I'm so scared to eat these Oreos, and more about, oh my gosh, I'm absolutely loving this person. They make really funny jokes and they are so cute, blah blah blah. You get what I'm saying? But also you want to make sure that you're not like extending yourself out so far out your comfort zone to the point where you're like anxious and rigid and acting like a completely different person, because then they can't get to know you because you have this cloud of anxiety around you that is just not conducive to sharing your authentic self. And then next, you're going to want to make sure that you are opening up if you are ready and able and want to. I think a big caveat here is a mistake that I made when I first found myself ready to date is I would begin like trauma dumping, like first date. I'd be like, I have an eating disorder and I went to recovery, checked myself into an eating disorder center, blah blah blah, and it's kind of like, whoa, that is a lot. I don't even know this person, like we're not even friends yet, you know what I'm saying? And so you want to make sure that you are opening up to someone when you trust them, you know them, and you know that they are able to receive it too. Because just as much as you are able to share, you want to make sure that the other person is able to listen, because it's really hard and sad and not fun when you are like so bearing your soul to someone and they just like aren't there to listen and like don't really care and or are unable to care. Trust the person and you feel connected with them in a way that allows you to be able to share with them. And that doesn't mean necessarily that you need to wait forever to share with someone. You can share pretty early on in getting to know someone, and it might actually be easier for you to be your most authentic self, but also make sure that you are just like aware of this timeline, aware of where you both are at in the relationship before you are sharing. And again, you don't have to. You don't owe them anything. You can disclose whatever you want or don't want to do. Okay, I need to wash my hands per usual because those tanning drops, they are really effective, but I really like these. They are from L'Oreal Bronze Drop, Sublime Bronze Self-Tanning Drop. These are really great and they tan so well, but if you don't wash your hands after, they will turn your fingies orange. So we don't want that. I'm gonna go wash my hands really quick. Okay, fingies washed. Also, if you have been seeing my shirt and can't read what it says, I think this is like the funniest thing ever. My bestie Annie got this for me for my birthday one year because I sent her this Facebook ad and was like, oh my god, isn't this the funniest shirt ever? And then she bought it for me. So she's literally the best. Okay, but anyway, the last thing that I wanted to talk about is that if you're gonna start dating, you need to know that you deserve love. Okay, you deserve to be out there, you deserve to have someone love you, you deserve someone to give you all of the respect in the world. Okay, you are more than deserving. It can be really difficult to date while you are in recovery, and in some cases it might not be the best idea, and you really need to evaluate that on your own. But just because you have an eating disorder, just because you have body dysmorphia, just because you have food anxiety, does not mean that you don't deserve love. Not at all. You are extremely deserving, you are worthy, and you're gonna find someone who is the perfect match for you. All you gotta do is just get out there and try your best. You got this. So of course, make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Comment down below one thing that you learned or gonna try, and then also even if you like this video, I've been really loving doing more of these advice videos of things that I practice in my own life, and they're just really kind of therapeutic for me and kind of fun, especially now I'm unwinding before bed. If you do not already follow me on Instagram and TikTok, make sure you do that at Leanne Healy. And thank you so much for being here. I will see you next time, and I love you so much. Mwah!
Falling to pieces in my room.